You are listening to the Keeping It Juicy podcast.
Your main squeeze in nutrition.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can join us every Tuesday for a brand new episode.
Also, don't forget to add us on Instagram and Facebook at Keeping It Juicy Podcast.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Episode 67.
Oh man, things are different. Your background's different. My background's different.
What quarantine does to us.
Well, I guess you're the only one quarantined right now.
Very true. So today we're going to be talking all about, if you don't know already, there's a pandemic sweeping the nation and worldwide. So we're just going to talk briefly about how it's been affecting us. Being in Arlen, San Diego, California is definitely a hot spot right now. You being in Texas, kind of how things are progressing there as well.
So it's going to be a different episode than what we usually record, but it's had such an impact on both of our lives, which I assume it's had an impact on y'all that are listening right now, that we felt like it was appropriate to go ahead and share our experiences, what to do, and how we're feeling, and all that good stuff.
Definitely. It's definitely a weird time right now.
Right.
So if you guys don't know, I'm located in San Diego, California. As of right now, I believe I saw on the news this morning, keep in mind these episodes are slightly pre-recorded, so the day you're listening to it, the stats are going to change, obviously, but there's about, I don't know, maybe 100 cases here in San Diego right now, but more and more are popping up each day. I believe yesterday was the biggest influx that we've seen. If you guys don't know, California, the governor said, stay home. There's a stay home ban out right now. So all non-essential businesses are closed. The only thing that's open right now is grocery stores, restaurants to go, pharmacies, Walmarts, kind of things of that nature. But everything else is closed. I just heard on the morning news that they're actually thinking of closing like the beaches too. So I have no idea if that's like.
Why are people still going to the beaches?
I mean, it's a big open space and people are just trying to find something to do. I haven't been down to the beach, so I don't know if it's a big issue or not. But it was also raining here, so I don't know what everyone's doing outside. So it's kind of weird. Everyone's just been staying home, only going to grocery stores. Here in San Diego, where I live at least, they're only allowing, I believe, 50 people in a grocery store at one time. The staff is being very mindful. There's usually lines out the door, and the staff are sanitizing all shopping carts before they give you one and as people leave. So that is really good to see the staff really coming together. It's being recommended that, you wear gloves when you go out in public so that when you touch the groceries, this virus can still live on surfaces. Also sanitize things that you grab when you bring them home, because that's fine and dandy if you wear gloves in the store, then you touch something and then you touch your face, you just likely infected yourself if someone right before you touched that item, had it, changed their mind. I don't know. You just have to be more careful than normal. Sanitizing the carts is one thing, but they are recommending sanitizing, if you pick up, I don't know, a box of Pop-Tarts, take the Pop-Tarts out of the box. Don't touch the box with your bare hands type things. So just all these little things that
I doubt they're doing that here. Like, I doubt, like, they're reinforcing no, they're not even doing 50 people. I think they're doing 20 people at a time in Walmart, which is social distancing at its finest. But they're still not reinforcing that package gloves and getting packaged goods and making sure you don't touch your face afterwards.
Right, like if you buy cans, disinfect the cans, but then it turns into, can we buy more disinfectant right now? I don't know. Hard to say.
And the fact that we have a medical shortage of supplies right now is a big deal.
Right. if you're unpacking your groceries, wash your hands, but then if you stick it on your shelf, it's just, the risk of contamination is extremely, it's just so hard to tell. Wash your hands, disinfect what you can. Some people are going a little bit crazy. Um, spraying themselves down, like, it's not
No,
necessary.
from one of my work friends that work in another healthcare facility, um, they actually tried to spray their coworkers with Lysol. And it's like, I
Yeah,
don't think
I've
you
seen that.
can do that with HR.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
but
Yeah, so I've seen some of that too. So
but
that's kind of just what's going on in California right now. Again, I'm in San Diego. Things are much worse in LA and Northern California right now. San
right.
Diego, I don't think is that bad. Um, but it could easily get bad. So that's why
I mean, San
everyone
Diego is still very populated.
very populated. We are kind of busybodies by nature, so it's kind of driving me crazy a little bit. But you just got to find things to do at home, and maybe they will close the beaches down. Maybe they will start putting a few more mandates in order. Um, I
Uh,
heard they might start checking freeways and questioning people, where you're going.
yeah, that's exactly what they're already doing. Actually,
Really, in
my
Texas?
friend, no,
Oh.
my friend lives in Folsom in California, so that's near
Mm,
Sacramento, I believe. And she
mhm,
works part time at a dialysis facility like I
mhm,
do. Um, and she was given a card, which my company, I think they just issued a similar card in case a lockdown does happen in
mhm,
Texas.
mhm,
But they gave her the card that basically allows her to drive
mhm,
to and from work in case she does get pulled
mhm,
over, that she
mhm.
is that necessary staff that needs to go into a dialysis facility.
Right, right. So it's great that employers are providing people with cards. So yeah, it's gotten very serious very fast.
Right. And so, if you saw that meme, yeah, if you ever saw that meme of Ron Burgundy from Anchorman, he's like, wow, that escalated fast.
I
Like,
feel like just last week, I don't know, it's like I'm sure everyone can attest to this, but every single day it's like, dang, what next, Want to joke about it, but it's not a joking matter.
right. I remember last week you were telling me, yeah, there's only 10 cases. I was like, watch it
Yeah,
grow.
yeah.
And and you're like, no, it's not that bad. And then it gets to 100. I'm like, what did I tell you?
Yeah,
But
it travels quickly, to say the least.
right.
Um,
I mean, personally here in Texas, we don't have a lockdown yet per
mhm,
se. There's
mhm,
we're in the stage of shutdown right now. So
mhm,
basically it's more lenient, like restaurants, they're requiring to go orders.
mhm.
Any unnecessary businesses,
Yeah,
they want they're urging you to shut down, but they haven't required it
gotcha.
yet.
Mhm,
So a
mhm.
lot of retail stores have closed, but there's still a couple stores here and there that are still open.
Give it a week.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm so surprised that a lot of places took this long to shut down. Because I think not this weekend, but the other weekend, people were still going out, and I was looking at them like, "Are you being irresponsible for a reason?" Uh,
I'm sure everyone has seen the meme too, or the quote or whatever. It says, I feel like we're in kindergarten and we're
right,
just losing more recess time because of the one or two kids that just can't behave. It's like,
right,
just,
right, and it, like, I don't even want to talk about the people in Florida. Uh,
I know,
but but we're right now at that stage, and then at my work I'm still working. I
mhm,
haven't been told not to work, so I
mhm,
am still, they are still requiring us dietitians and social
mhm,
workers to maintain
mhm,
a presence in the
mhm,
facility because
mhm,
we play a big role in the patient's, of
mhm,
course, health, well-being, and all that good stuff.
mhm,
Because let's take, for example, patients' labs. So calcium gets too high, that's a problem. That's why I'm there to help catch it or talk to nurses. Or too high of a potassium, that's a big deal. Too low of a potassium. other nutritional issues that require immediate attention. So I don't ever see myself not going into work. If anything, maybe a couple of days at center and maybe a couple of days at home, but that's
Right.
still a stretch.
Right.
Um, and then social workers, it's a similar deal because even some of the transit systems in where I live, a couple of them are still open. A couple of them have limited their hours, but a couple of them have shut down transportation. And that's a big deal for dialysis patients because some of these patients rely on getting their treatments. If they can't get their
Mhm.
treatments, they can't
Mhm.
survive.
Mhm.
So that's where social workers come in. They
Mhm.
try to basically mediate that, make sure that doesn't happen because that's a big deal
Mhm.
to have that shut down. Like I get it for the public, but
Mhm.
not for dialysis patients where this is life or death. So,
It is
well,
life or death.
mhm.
Yeah.
So, and then on top of that, we're wearing extra PPE. So if you don't know what that is, that's extra precautionary protective equipment.
Personal
Right.
protection equipment.
Sorry, my brain's all over the place, but
Yeah.
we're wearing more protection. So what that means is paper gown. We wear that all the time,
Oh.
anyways.
Mhm.
Um, not in my office, obviously, but when
Mhm.
I'm out on the floor or um, when I'm screening patients,
Mhm.
and which I am now required, not required, but I'm just helping screen patients before they come in, take their temperatures, ask them questions if they have been in contact, been out the country, all that good stuff, and then give them a mask, which for a couple of days I had to wear my own mask a couple times because we didn't have enough masks at the time. So that's why I'm saying we're starting to run low on different supplies such as that, which is a big deal because there's so much infection control that goes into dialysis facilities that we need to be aware of.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe you shared with me that some of the first two deaths here in the US were dialysis patients.
Yeah, the first two patients were dialysis patients, and that was on the news.
Mhm.
Not a lot of people pay attention to that. Yeah, the patients aren't really taking it seriously. Like when we do ask it, which is frustrating because I don't think they understand we're doing these extra precautions for them. I mean, even a couple of days ago, I found out now we have to wear not only masks when we're out on the floor talking to patients, but actual like shields, like face shields. So I'm wearing
Oh
an
my
extra layer of
gosh.
protection. So I have my own very face shield in my office waiting for me to use it, which
Wow.
I disinfect between seeing patients, um,
That's
which
crazy.
is which is a big deal because we even had someone come down from corporate that does audits and she's like, oh, were you aware that you had to wear a face shield? I was like, no.
No.
She's like, oh, stuff changes every day. I was like,
Well, get me a face shield then.
yeah, right.
Like I don't just have one laying around.
Right. So it was very shocking. I don't know. I was tired. I hate people with attitudes in this time of crisis, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
yeah.
Patience is being tested
Oh yeah.
very much.
I think I threw a couple things of. I mean,
Everyone's on edge.
everyone's on edge. So when
Yeah.
no one needs stuff like that, and we're already trying to help out the
Yeah.
nurses right now. Um,
Yeah.
and we're trying to make sure the patient's well-being is under control. Um, I don't know. We're doing the best that we can because, it, especially, I think it was on Wednesday. It was Wednesday evening. We found out we had our first confirmed case in our town,
Okay.
which is a big deal because we do receive patients from that hospital
Mhm.
or two other hospitals,
Mhm.
and that patient could have come into contact with any of our future patients
Oh,
or whatnot.
easily. Easily.
So I mean we're at really big risk too because we can't just stop dialysis.
No,
So
absolutely not.
it's I mean we're just gonna keep going. Every day we're getting new news about what to do, where to
So,
go,
quick
all that
question.
stuff.
Like,
But
so you screen people, you ask them have you come in contact with anybody? Do you have any reasonable suspicion that you might have come in you ask these
Yeah,
questions, right?
fever, cough, chills, all that stuff.
So let's just say you're screening someone and they answer yes to any of those questions, or they are showing symptoms, but they need dialysis. Like, what do you do? Do you still treat them?
I know Fresenius is still working on the protocols for
Okay.
it, but as far as I know, from my position, I would probably notify my clinical manager,
Okay. So you
and then
haven't
go
had
from
that
there.
happen yet.
No, we have not
Okay.
had that happen yet, but um, we're still learning protocols every single day.
Yeah.
As
Things
far
are
as
changing every day.
yes, and I think, don't quote me on this. We were talking about if we had any positive patients, they would have we required to dialyze at a hospital setting
Mm,
because,
gotcha.
and I think they were at one point even talking about having a clinic, like once this does continue to go, having a clinic that's designated only to COVID-19 patients. But we haven't gotten to that point yet.
It's
So
gonna
at this point,
happen.
right, and at
It's
this
gonna happen.
point, we're more than likely gonna look at sending them to a hospital. Probably they might have a ward cleared off. I'm not entirely sure. We're getting new
Mm-hmm.
information every day.
Right. By the time this episode actually airs, a lot of what we said might not even
Right,
be relevant, unfortunately,
right,
because things are literally changing every single morning, every
right,
hour for that matter.
right. And
Um,
it's just funny because I still have two other people in the household that are still working, and I just hope I don't bring it back home with me. That's
or
my
vice versa. If they're
mhm.
still working, they could bring it home to you and you can take it to work and you
Right,
could be, a carrier for 3 weeks before you even show symptoms. And I think that's what's so
right.
concerning.
And I have expressed a concern. I mean, well, I have expressed a similar concern. That's why I'm really advocating for 2 or 3 days in center and then 2 or 3 days at home, just to minimize foot traffic and
Yes.
exposure to patients, which
Yes.
the past week we did do lab report review, but the next couple of weeks is going to be more chill.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. They're only allowing certain personnel to work from home if they have a medical reason, which I think is complete bullshit because some people
Very.
have families,
Right.
which is frustrating, but that's corporate for you. So,
Yeah, it's just everything is I think about my situation, and I'm not working right now, but fortunately a lot of my work was able to be like work from home prior. So now it's just completely work from home, which okay, not the end of the world. I'm already kind
right,
of used to work from home, but I just don't have a place where I can go see my clients. But all remote is completely fine. My schoolwork was online to start, so
right,
nothing changes there. Who I really feel for though is, first and foremost the elderly because how
right,
scary. This is if I wasn't, young and healthy and knew that my immune system is pretty good, I'd be terrified to go grocery shopping. Like I kid you not, and I feel very
right,
badly for those that who are elderly who might not have kids close by to help them out with these things. And we
right,
also have to keep in mind, there are still other issues going on in the world that are going to be put on hold. People
mhm,
are still battling other chronic diseases, still battling cancer, and those problems don't just poof go away because this one took over. There are still
right,
families going through those other medical concerns on top of all of this. So, you know,
right. That's why
we're pretty chill in the grand scheme of
right.
things.
That's why I'm pretty stressed out for my patients because some of them have dialysis, diabetes, and cancer all in one. So God forbid an outbreak happens.
I know. I also really feel for those who have, really important really important jobs and they're being forced to work from home, but they're also trying to homeschool their kids right now.
Uh,
I could only imagine the chaos. Like
Hey.
I feel for y'all. I
Yes.
I really do. I'm sending good vibes. Hope everyone's doing okay, but dang. Dang.
2020 motto, sending good vibes.
Sending good vibes, you know?
Uh,
Um,
I think on top of all that is going on, we have to be aware of what we see online. We are at home more. We are watching TV more. We are on Instagram more, on Facebook.
mhm.
I can go on. We are on the internet more. More.
Yeah.
Long story short, so we have to be aware of what certain people and or a group of influencers that
Mhm.
may be saying, like the medical medium or any other gung ho influencer out there
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
talking about a diet for the COVID-19 or anything else, or a lot of them are all of a sudden on the immune system bandwagon, which it's very frustrating because a lot of it is misinformation, and it's not something like stuff about the immune system. It's not new news, so it's just hilarious that I'm finding that they're jumping on that bandwagon, that they're trying
Mhm.
to do diets, and it's for me. I don't think they're taking this as seriously, and they're still making some sort of game.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Like I get that they need money to sustain their way of living, but so do other people. But
right. Right.
I just
And right now is not the time to be
no.
trying to like capitalize on it because a lot of people have had a significant income cut and they might not know
Right,
when they're going to be getting a paycheck next.
right,
And the bills go on. Fortunately, a lot of companies have stepped up and said, um, non-payment is okay for right now, see if you can get extra assistance, blah, blah, blah.
right,
Thumbs up, that is great.
right,
Thank you. I mean, SDG&E, which is the electric company here in San Diego,
right,
um, is letting non-payments slip, I guess, for this month.
right,
Mortgage companies are not gonna kick you out if you miss your mortgage payment, so that is great. But a lot of people are really concerned about income, so
right.
don't feed into all this garbage out
No.
there about buy this supplement, it'll help you fight off COVID-19. No,
Or go
no,
along this diet, and you'll for
no,
sure be able to be in the best shape to fight COVID-19. No,
no.
that viruses don't discriminate. I
I
mean,
mean,
yes, it does help to be in the healthiest
but
position
you're
you.
not going to get in a healthier position in a couple days. Like
If
it's
you're
a
the
collection of
one
everything.
if you're the one hoarding toilet paper and mac and cheese, you are definitely not in the best position. If anything, you should be more fruits and vegetables. I'm gonna be honest right here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's
I
a
mean,
certain type of person who hoards toilet paper and mac and cheese.
I'm
So,
just I'm just letting you guys know. I mean,
mhm.
even if you guys have ever seen the movie Contagion, which I just watched, there
I'm
is
watching it soon.
there is this one guy, played by Jude Law, who is talking about an alternative cure for the virus. Like in the movie, he supposedly gets a virus, and he says this little supplement for sure cures it. And he said, if I'm alive by tomorrow, then it works. He is alive by the next day. But long story short, they found out he wasn't even infected with the virus that was going
Mm,
on. And
mhm.
he just spread misinformation, and then he got arrested. That's how
Mm,
I feel like what's going on right now.
mhm. Yeah.
We don't need that happening, and we don't need people fighting over that one alternative cure that may or may not work.
Yeah. I've ever since this like kind of started snowballing, I suppose,
Yes.
it's people that I worry about,
Yes,
you
it's
know?
definitely people.
And I heard another statistic somewhere. It said more people will go bankrupt from this than die.
Yeah.
And that's very sad. Very, very sad. Um, but
I mean, like, long story short, moral is don't buy everything. Save your money. Keep
yes,
yourself healthy. Make sure to
yes,
look out for others. I
yes.
mean,
And
that's
that kind of leads us to another point we wanted to make in all of this is trying to keep some normalcy in your life through all of this. And there's a lot of like free things you can do at home.
right.
You can work out at home,
Hmm.
absolutely free. They haven't banned going on walks yet. Walk your dog, exercise in your backyard, read a freaking book. Like, all of that is
He
free.
said fucking book.
Pick a fucking book, read that shit,
Oh.
okay? Work on yourself. Easier said than done. I definitely dug myself into a hole the first couple days of it. So I'm just like, what the fuck, man? But that's okay. We're all entitled to slip every once in a while, but don't get stuck there. I think that's the key.
Right.
Like I said before, this time last week, San Diego was not in this situation. So it's changing fast. I can only expect that other cities are to follow. It sounds like Texas isn't too far behind us.
No.
So I predict that by next week it's going to be this whole, stay at home thing. If you're not doing so already, I think states will
Right.
start to recommend it more
Also,
heavily.
speaking of which, I wanted to point out I was checking out the updates this morning, and
Mm-hmm.
so in New York they have like for such as how small the state is, they have such a
New
high
York's a mess.
confirmed case. Right, they are a mess, and the fact that he put it on a lockdown, the governor
People
put it
aren't
on.
listening though.
No people are listening, and then
No.
he let out a statement saying that it's completely disrespectful that
Yeah.
a huge large congregations of people are still going on like there's nothing happening. It's disrespectful. It's
Yeah.
not being considerate of
Just
others.
stay home. Just stay home.
Americans, no, I won't stay home.
That's kind of all we have to say on the topic this week. Maybe we'll give more updates next week. Maybe
Right,
we'll have a different topic. If you have any recommendations
right.
for us, we are open. We have a ton of time to do research this week for you, or I do at least.
Speak for yourself.
I do. I do. I'm at home. I'm gonna stay home. So let me know.
Right. So definitely let us know. Let us know how you guys are hanging on, what you're doing to occupy your time, and to kind of
We're here to
provide.
chat, or
Mhm.
I am. I'm here to chat because gotta stay
I'll
social.
see your chat. I'll see your chat maybe like 3 days later, but I'll see it. So,
Okay. Yeah.
well, I hope you
Yeah.
guys stay safe out there. Make good choices.
And
Like,
just listen to what they say. Like, I think that's just the bottom line. They're making these recommendations for a reason. They know more than we do. So just try your best to listen. Please, for all of us. Don't be that one kid in class that just
right.
who gives a shit.
I'm not going to work just so you guys can flail around out there. And God
Doing what?
forbid,
Everything's closed. Like, what are you gonna do?
stay home.
Stay
Have
home.
a glass of wine, drink,
Stay
read a
home.
book.
Do some push-ups, read a book, watch movies. It's great.
Yeah,
Great. It's
it's
fine.
fine.
Everything's fine. All right. We
All
will
right,
catch you
guys.
guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening to the Keeping It Juicy podcast.
Your main squeeze in nutrition.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can join us every Tuesday for a brand new episode.
Also, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Keeping It Juicy Podcast.
We'd love to hear from you, so please leave us a review
5 stars, no less.
on whatever platform you're listening to, or send us an email at keepingitjuicypodcast@gmail.com.
Or if you have any topics you'd like for us to touch upon, shoot us an email. Until next time, don't do anything that I would do. Nonetheless, our patients aren't really paying. What the fuck are you doing? You never bark. Shut up. It's just a neighbor. Holy shit. Stop doing that. The neighbor moving the car and she got.
Just in case. Just in case. The home must be warned, just in case.
She has not started barking until recently. Usually she never barks.